Oh, game destruction. Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Thank you for letting me know. I will fix that. Will fix that. Sorry, that was a mistake on casting tool. We'll update the title. Hold on. Say bam, there we go. Do apologize. But spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Mystery Gaming. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran, also representing Mystery Gaming, as they are currently teammates and they've been teammates for a long time. It is Bunny. Mi papi stats conscious somehow. It's like Protoss playing field. I have faith, papi, have faith. It's all good. Stats, of course, recently qualifying for GSL, so we'll be seeing more of Stats in the coming months. Likewise, Bunny and SHIN also qualifying for this season of GSL. Here we go. I won't speak too much more on that, but there was some pretty big results in the qualifiers. I do recommend the VODs if you missed out. Really good games, really good series. As Bunny is opening up with a Rax Expand. Standard opener here from our Terran player. Likewise, SHIN went Hatch Gas Pool. I point this out specifically for SHIN because he has been quite fond of 15-15s. Very fond of them, so I would not be surprised if he goes for one, if he goes for that build at some point in this series. For now, standard opener. Getting into some standard play. We settle on in. Again, when it comes to Bunny's playstyle here in TvZ, from what I recall, doesn't really spice things up too much. For example, Bunny and Ryung, for whatever reason, they never really embraced the Byun opener. I'm talking about the 2x Reaper. So I don't recall Bunny ever going 2x Reaper and 2x Reaper variations, unlike Hyor, Maru, Byun, Gumiho, like all the other top tier Koreans. Like, they embraced it, they mixed it into their play. Clem, the European Terrans as well. But yeah, Bunny, he always kind of did his own thing. He always played his own style and was always a lot of fun to watch as a result. Even here, 1-1-1. We're going for a 1-1-1 opener. This could lead into a Hellbat push. I'm curious. We have a very delayed third TC, so this is a very committed, very aggressive build out of Bunny. Reaper gets across the map, gets out of the third base, dips in, doesn't quite get into the mineral line as SHIN will defend. Back at home, ooh, we are going for a tech lab. BC? No BC, no fusion core, but we're just manually making that tech lab on that starport, getting into Banshee production. Banshee's gonna be on the way. Hellions are amassing. I'm still not unconvinced that I'm still not convinced that it's not going to be an armory thrown down. We'll see how many Marines we do get into. Another tech lab on the way. Hellions, they poke in across the map. Oh, good body blocking out of SHIN. That was very close. Smooth moves there out of SHIN. But no, we do see the Hellions. They do catch the Queens out of position. We do commit. We do dive into the natural base. Lings are going to be going down. Ling's feet still in the way, and it looks like this Hellion dive is not going to pay for itself. We got a couple of drones. We should clean this up. We're getting a little bit more. 5 workers. Not the worst trade, but yeah, we were looking for more. We get a 6th drone towards the end. As Bunny does get cleaned up. 7 drones in total. That's a little bit better. 7 workers for 4 Hellions. The problem here, there's a lot of problems. The problem is that, one, we have lost map control. We threw away all of our Hellions. That means we can spread creep. We can spread creep. We can fan out our Lings. There is nothing to really deter SHIN from being a little bit greedier and from droning up. There are Banshees, but we have plenty of Queens in position to defend. On top of that, Bunny's third base is later than normal. So, again, those Hellions needs to do even more because of how late the CC is, because of how much map control we have relinquished. Meanwhile, across the map, the Banshees, they can still deal some damage. We get a couple of Lings. So far, no economic damage though. Getting one drone as SHIN is opening up safely, going for a lair first into a Baneling nest. He's going for that lair opener, which makes sense against a delayed third CC. We don't want to go into double Evo chamber. We don't want to take that risk. Banshees, they head into the natural, taking a lot of damage. Ooh. Do barely get a queen though. Suddenly a little bit more worth it here for Bunny. They'll snipe a queen, gets behind the mineral line. SHIN in the midst of taking his fourth. And Bunny, he will back up. And the game is going to settle from here. The game is going to be settling. Bunny establishing his third, SHIN establishing his fourth. We're now getting to our upgrades. Again, the upgrades for SHIN were delayed. I don't blame him for this, but these Evo chambers were a little bit later than we would otherwise see. But that is because Bunny did go for a more aggressive build. So SHIN wanted to play safely, wanted to make sure he was safe and sound and secure, which is why we already have Banelings on the way. Meanwhile, Bunny is pushing out with a bit of a double draw, trying to deny the fourth if at all possible. SHIN in position. We have queens, we have banelings. We're ready. So we do push forward. We catch a couple of tumors. Catch a couple of tumors. Not much else. Again, SHIN, he does defend his fourth, does deflect the army. And Bunny behind this is not working up towards a 3-base all-in. We do have a 4th CC on the way. So we're in for a longer one. We're in for a longer game. Let's go. Let's go. And she's a deny the 5th. Good movement here out of Bunny. Does slip in. SHIN, he's going Ling Bane into Hydra. Ling Bane Hydra droning on up. He's gone up to 80 workers already. He has a solid economy. SHIN, he is in control of this game. Winding it back a little bit more here. And again, the openers are quite important as we catch out the drop. To catch the Marines. But because of the openers, SHIN played safely and now he's gotten away with it. Bunny needed more damage and he's falling behind as a result. Did need to deal more damage here as he is now one step behind. As SHIN, he's reached critical mass of drones. It can now focus on Ling Bane Hydra, taking up in towards a hive. And SHIN is soon going to max out. This Ling run might not finding too much damage though. Does run into a wall. Reduce supply block SHIN. Bunny doing anything he can here to slow down the Zerg. Hot pick up there at a Bunny, saves the Marines. Only loses one. Go push towards the left. A couple of Widow Mines. The Bio Army as well. And again, SHIN is in position, is able to deflect Bunny time and time again. Still not quite maxed out. Bunny is keeping up its supply, is what I will say. Impressive. Getting his 4th base. Once again, avoiding those Baneling connections. And there is going to be a window. There is going to be a window here where Bunny has to... Actually, I think that's going to be lined up with when Bunny maxes out as well. so we can start to push. And there we go. We do see the tank repositioning. Widowmine's pushing forward. Bunny moving out towards the bottom left. Shin working towards lurkers, but he won't have them in the defense. Won't have them yet. We'll see if Bunny can break into that base. At the same time, Shin setting up his own counterattack. Is distracted by the triple drop. Bunny catching out all the Bailings. Does get a good chunk of them. We'll drop into the third base. Into the natural. But Shin, he is in position. So far, Shin able to keep up. Bunny pushing out. There is a little Ling Bane waiting for him. Again, Shin, he's ready for this round. Ready to collapse on this. Just waiting to lure Bunny in onto creep. Likewise, Shin trying to expand on the right-hand side. Very limited anti-air. The hive is done. Do we have any Vipers? The answer is no. And Shin pushes off of creep. Does catch the tanks. Does shut down the Widow Mines. And it looks like Shin, he may just have too much. He does surround the army. He does clean this up. A couple of Marines will escape. Ooh. But the Medivacs go down. Oh no. The Medivacs. Oh. Boost is still on cooldown. Just comes off. And the Medivacs will barely survive. Oh my god. Bunny coming back in. At the same time, reinforcing our right-hand side. Even though Bunny just lost an army, he's already remaxed, which is crazy, by the way. Catches out some drones. But Shin, he is counter-attacking. Does hit the planetary. Will bring it down at the same time. Bunny doesn't quite commit. Yeah, there's just too much Ling Bane to defend. Bunny, he's coming back home. Big mine shot. Shin did well killing the base, but he did overextend quite a bit there. Has to back off. Mine shot's going to be connecting. Now, Bunny may have lost his fourth, but he still has another four soon to be up and running. Morphing into a planetary. As Shin is on 5 bases, trying to get his 6th up as well. Bunny was able to catch some workers earlier. Once again, going for another split push. And throughout all of this, Bunny has been taking up. We have Liberators on the way, Ghosts on the way. We are getting ready for Lurkers. Speaking of, Lurkers are in production. So we have taked up towards the late game here. Hydra Lurker Viper for Shin. Bunny, he's already got that Lib Ghost getting ready for this. Isn't quite in position yet. Good mine shots. Bunny does come across the Ling Bane on the right. And Shin is going to be committing. Does lose a Lurker already. It does go down. I don't think this is the fight to take. We yoink the Ghosts. Oh. 2 Ghosts do go down. We have no detection and we do forces back. At the same time, the Ling Bane does crash into the mineral line. 14 SCVs go down. The planetary does survive. And a bit of a shaky fight there for Shin, but he does manage to get some economic damage done. He killed 2 Ghosts for 2 Lurkers, trading 1 for 1 essentially. 1 for 1 Lurker for 4 Ghost. The Vipers did survive. Yeah, the Vipers did survive. We have 2 of them. 3rd Viper on the way. Nidus were in production as well. The Lurkers, they're going for the Nidus. And do we have any vision across the map? We do. Overseer making its way towards the National, towards the main for that Nidus. And if Shin can get into the main base, if he can get on top of the production, he can end the game. Speaking of, there it is. Nidus into the main base. Bunny, does he see? Does he respond? He does. Couple of Ghosts, yeah, all the Ghosts, even that's a lot of Ghosts. They do respond, but really that was a distraction, and Shinny goes to the planetary once again. Does distract Bunny, takes down the planetary, does back off, gets 16 SCV kills, and that's all that Shin needed. Again, didn't get the production like he wanted, but he gets the next best thing. Kills the base. Kills the mineral line. Pulling apart the attention of Bunny. And this will also force Bunny to keep some supply here in the main. But he killed the Overseer. Oh, sorry. He zoned it away. Oh. That's another Overseer making his way into the main base. Nidus is thrown down. There are some ghosts in position. This time only a handful of ghosts. Oof. As the Nidus will barely finish, but we do not commit with it. Don't send anything out. The other thing about Bunny's army that I'm concerned about is the amount of Widow Mines he has. So typically, traditionally, when you're up against Lingbane, Hydra, Lurker, Viper, when you're up against this army from SHIN, the Terran player would be switching from Widow Mines into tanks. It'd be tank ghost lid. Widow Mines are good. They're good against Lings, not against Lurkers and Hydras, which is what I'm concerned about. This is a more flexible army, a more mobile army. It's a little bit cheaper, more affordable. That is true, but not as efficient. Again, mine shots can be lackluster as we dive on top of the army. The Liberators out of position. Libs know where they need to be. The Ghosts, they stand strong. Lingbane is being cleaned up. So yoinking as many lives as we can. Good snipes here from Bunny. But again, we had, what? I think it was like 5 or 6 Liberators here sieged up towards the left, and we just ignored them. Just ran past. Didn't even matter. And again, Widow Mines, they don't cover as wide of a radius either. Compared to tanks. So defensively, they're just worse. As the Nidus finishes in the natural Lurker, they get in. Up. Not worth it here for SHIN. Does bleed out 4 Lurkers. Did get 5 Ghosts. And Bunny, he's retaking his base. Getting his 4th and 5th. Can he get a 6th up and running? That's going to be huge. SHIN cannot allow this to get up and running. Cannot allow this to happen. So far, has been doing a decent job at denying the economy. Every time SHIN pushes, he kills a base. He has been killing bases. Man, this we have a Spire. Second Spire on the way for upgrades for a greater Spire. This will be eventually for Broodlords. So we can head into Broodlord production. Meanwhile, we lost all of our Lurkers and SHIN is not replacing them. Sticking with Lingbane Hydra. Does cancel a base. Gets into mineral line. SCVs are being evacuated. Good EMPs on those Vipers. That was actually a pretty good defense. Nice hold there from Bunny. Oh no, but the CC! I can't say the same for the orbital as it looks like it will be going down. Oh, just barely. It's on fire. And it looks like there are no repairs to the CC. Yeah, it is going to burn. We're down to 5, 4, 3. It does burn. Now, Bunny does have bottom left, though. And I don't think SHIN has seen it. No, sorry, he has.
Mineral field.
Here's a planetary. Bunny rotating over. Scan reveals the army. Bunny is on the way. He's getting here. Big fungal here on the Ghost. Baileys will connect. Ghost going down. And the Lings, they go to town here on the planetary. They bring it down. The Cracklings, they cracked. They take down the planetary. They take down the SCVs. At the same time, a Liberator going hammer across the map, getting 11 drone kills. SHIN also taking some losses, but he killed a base. That is what matters. SHIN is building up a bank, and Bunny is not. He is struggling. Struggling to work on that bank. Still committing here to Ghost Lib Widowmine. Coming to Widowmine play. And again, I'm not fully convinced by this, just because in this position, Bunny has been stuck turtling, right? He's been stuck defending, stuck turtling, and if we're going to be taking a more defensive stance, that's where mech comes into play. That's where the power of Lib Tank comes in. It's why the ideal late game for Terran is mech Ghost, basically. That's what Bunny should be working towards, but he isn't. Again, part of it just maybe just his playstyle. He enjoys something more mobile and maneuverable, which is okay if we're in position, but again, we have been bleeding out a lot of bases. Bunny building up his bank. He does roll in. Oh, that's a lot of ghosts that are set up. And the freedom liberation zones this time are too much. This time we force back the army. We got a couple of SCVs. But that was one of the more efficient fights that Bunny has had. This time the Libs are in position. They got a lot of value. The ghosts survived. How many ghosts do we have? 24! We have more ghosts than any other unit in the game for Terran, other than SCV. More ghosts than Marine, Widowmine, or Lib. Let's go. Let's get a couple of parasitic bombs up. Bunny taking another base. A fresh mining base. SHIN trying to expand and taking one of Bunny's bases. Let's take a couple of hits. Here we go. We have our transition. Remember those spires. The spires are done. Upgrades are on the way. We have 10 corruptors in production. Eventually for Broodlords. So we have a nuke on the right hand side, but we do get eyes on the ghost. Barely getting the kill. Plenty of infestors as well. Plenty of spellcasters. Vipers are coming. Nice EMP on the Vipers. Ooh. Mine Shot going off as well. 2 Vipers go down. Big losses for SHIN. SHIN tries to push forward. Gets a couple of the ghosts. Gets a couple of ghosts, but the ghost army from Bunny, we're gaining ground. Yeah, nuke gets thrown down. SHIN. Oh, he's going for it. It's always so risky. Like, you see a nuke, you run. No, you see a nuke, you hunt the ghost down. Does get it. SHIN, the Broodlords, they have arrived. Broodlord Infestor is now what SHIN is working with. Terrifying army. Fungal Graze is one of those ghosts. Broodlord shutting a Bunny down. Liberations and have arrived. Good EMP here on some of the Infestors. We're making 4 Vikings at a time, but is it too late? Again, this is a late response here to the Broodlords. Come in. Oh, we get a ghost. Do pick off a ghost.
Your forces are under attack.
Well, across the map, looks like a couple of drones were thrown away. Oh, a couple of workers going down here towards the left-hand side. Bunny denying mining. Very important that he does eventually try to take this base. Vipers are coming in. They do land some parasitic bombs. Fungal as well on some of these ghosts, but there is no follow-up. The ghosts live. The ghosts do survive. Bunny splitting off those weekend liberators. Going to be repairing. I love the attentive moves there from Bunny. Very nicely done. Do love to see it. More Broodlords on the way. Drone counts are getting low for both players. Nuke gets thrown down. Oh. The ghost! Do we get the ghost? Oh! We don't! We do not snipe the ghost. The nuke is going to go off and it will connect with the sack defense. And that is why it's so risky. The ghost was still alive. Was not brought down. That was so close. Like, Shin, calm down. Calm down, Bobby. Bunny forcing his way in. The freedom is here. So many liberation zones. So difficult for the infestors to engage. Liberators repositioning. Zoning Shin back. Yeah, and we're just cutting Shin off from this hatchery. From the mining base. We do have a Nidus. We can evacuate. Get out of here. Dive into the Nidus. Ah. So we are pushing in. Oh, at the same time, yeah, Shinny goes for a big counterattack. But GG is called, and Shin, he was running out of steam there. Does tap out. Bunny takes it. Takes game number 1. Oh, GG. GG. Ah. Hold on. I'm checking something. I am checking something. Because I'm pretty sure we were rotating over. Sorry, I just want to make sure that I didn't miss. Okay. I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss like the spellcasters being sniped or something. No, the spellcasters was still there. But yeah, basically Shin, he was forced away from his base. He could not save it. His Ling run by was being cleaned up. GG. Bunny taking game number 1. I was concerned that it was going to be a repeat of Bunny versus Dark, where Dark just out-trades the hell out of Bunny on Alcyone with his Broodlord Infestor. But again, Bunny, he was getting so much more ground. He's forcing Shin further and further back. GG. GG, well played. This is so clutch. They were. Can't argue with liberty, freedom, and justice. You cannot. You cannot. The freedom. GG. With that, we're getting into game number 2. Again, that was a great game 1. We don't often see late game like that on Oceanborn. I mean, it was quite chaotic, don't get me wrong. It's not as defendable as Alcyone. But really impressive there by Bunny. Really impressive. I was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to trade efficiently enough, but he got into so many ghosts and so many liberators. Like, that was almost his entire army, and Vikings as well. Did do very well for himself, and here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris. We have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Mystery Gaming. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Mystery Gaming. It is Shin. And before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Foxer in the chats. Oh my god, Papi, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Assuming you were streaming StarCraft or Stormgates, either or, hope you had a great time. Thank you so much, thank you. I apologize for not shouting you out earlier during the game. I didn't want to take away from the game, but thank you so much. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Este Foxer. We go. As a Shin looking to fight back, Luna's had this series going for a Hatchcat Spool. Standard opener from Shin. Meanwhile, Bunny going for an interesting build himself, going for a Rax Expand with a CC in the main. Okay. Very interesting. I mean, there are speed zones here on the map, but Bunny may be a little bit paranoid about a pool first. Very interesting. This is where I have to imagine mind games come into play, where I'm sure both Shin and Bunny practice together. I'm sure they play against each other a lot. And maybe it's a common tactic for Shin to, again, go for an earlier pool and disrupt the opener of Bunny. But yeah, CC on the high ground, something you don't see too often. Let's go. Can't argue with Turtle. You can't win an argument. Turtles. Their debates are too good. Their tactics. Good morning, Dazzy Bots. Good morning. Bienvenidos. Bienvenido says, wait, oh my god, Shin, he comes in, he misreads. Shin, he set up a spine crawler, does cancel though. As Shin, he saw the lack of CC and he assumed it was going to be a one base all in. So I guess that's also a plus side. Bunny with a more unorthodox build did force an overreaction, but Shin thankfully realizes what's going on. He cancels the spine crawler. Is moving out with his lings. And does... Oh, once again, we're trying to hide the CC, but it's been spotted. Buddy, so cheeky. Okay. Well, now we know. Now we know what the point was. Again, let's try to bamboozle Shin. Did work a little bit, but not as much as I'm sure he would have liked. Shin does confirm. Behind this, it is going to be another 1-1-1. So just like the previous game, Bunny is opening up quite aggressively. Is going for a delayed CC. Shin behind this going into his third, a little bit later than he would have liked because he was terrified of what was happening. So late third for Shin. As we settle into this. Bunny's scouting, checking for the third. He will get eyes on it. I'm sure feeling good about this. Third base isn't even done. And Bunny, once again, working towards those Banshees. Now, I will say that this opener in game one was a little bit lackluster. Bunny, he killed, what was it? 6 or 7 drones for his 4 Hellions, which was okay. The Banshees were able to kill 1 Queen and like 1 or 2 more drones as well. But the Banshees weren't amazing in their role. And this time we're getting into our third CC a little bit earlier. Stim is in production. Once again, Shin going for a lair first. Is going to be a lair into Bailey Nest, a very safe opener out of Shin. Buddy with the slick moves takes down the tumor. Does snipe the tumor. Banshee rocks up. No spore crawler, by the way. Here's a couple of seconds late. We get 2 drones. We head into the natural where there is a spore lying in wait. Shin in position. Force back the Banshee. We barely get a third drone. So not bad. Bad here from Bunny. Getting 3 workers. Does escape with the Banshee. Does keep his Hellions alive this time. And is getting into his 5 rack setup. We're even getting a Queen. Good movement here from Bunny. And getting drones, getting a Queen. Banshees are still barely alive. Oh, as we dive further into the bases. Yeah, the intercept is real, and 1 Banshee will go down. And the dust from here will settle, and we can kind of take stock at where we are. So Shin is on a 3-base economy. He's up to 66 drones. He's working on a 4th base, working on 1-1, Veiling Seed as well. Again, was a pretty standard opener here from Shin. Has sustained some damage, losing 5 drones in total. But that isn't game ending by any means. It is still damage that Shin can sustain. Meanwhile, back at home, Bunny is establishing his third base as he moves out. Shin is moving in. Ooh, unfortunate for Bunny. Yeah, things they get into middle line. SCVs are going down. Bunny was right here. He was just here and does lose quite a bit of his economy. Does shave a full of lings. Does punish the run by a little bit. That was a good counterattack here from Shin, and he's coming back in. He does double back. Catches reinforcements. Forces friendly fire, and the wall is not a wall. Lack of SimCity there from a Bunny. Does get even more SCVs. And Bunny's not turning around. He is pushing out. Getting 7 SCVs across the map. Bunny pushing in towards the natural. Bailing speed is done. How do we catch the Hellions? We do catch the Hellions. Good pick up there from SHIN. Gets the Hellions, forces the pickup, gets a couple of Marines, cripple the economy across the map, and SHIN, any damage he took early on, he has recovered from, and then some. Now Bunny is stuck at him again. He wanted to push out with his tank. He wanted to hit the timing, and alas, he won't be able to. Now SHIN is caught up with the 1-1 upgrades. Bunny, do we have the armory? We do. 2-2 is a little bit delayed here because of the disruptive economy. And hopefully we don't delay too much longer. Hopefully. It is +2 attack on the way. Bunny going for a double drop. Double drop towards the north, towards the south. And there's a lot of onus, there's a lot of pressure on Bunny right now because Bunny, he's down 30 SCVs. SHIN, he has an insane economy. 83 workers, 5 bases. Infestation bits on the way, 2-2. Getting ready for Hive Tech. SHIN looking very comfortable. Mindshot takes down some Lings. Paling run by is being set up by SHIN as well. Oh my god. I was worried about that mine. As again, from here, Bunny actually turns back around with his drop play. Again, respecting SHIN quite a bit. SHIN, he's about to max out. He's at 186 supply. And I'm sure he wants Bunny to push into him. Rocks are being knocked down. Bunny is setting up for his push, by the way. He is moving out. Rocks are knocked down. Looks like Bailey's it back up. SHIN is max. Bunny's as well. I mean, he's just behind him. Is right behind him, but SHIN coming from behind. Oh, the Bailey's, they do roll on 4. They threaten the Bio Army. And they even get into the middle line. 3 SCVs. They take down 11. Sorry, 3 Bailey's. They take down 11 SCVs. Lings, they flood into the natural. Into the mineral line. Catching reinforcements as well. And Bunny is being pulled apart. SHIN gonna be retreating with those Bailings at least. But damage was done. And Bunny, we gotta go. Now, as Bunny's been losing workers, he's super maxed. He's down to 42 SCVs. He has less than half the worker count of SHIN. But Bunny, he makes up for that in army supply. As he's up to 140 army supply. So, Bunny is pretty all in. Essentially. Bunny, he's all in. What you see is what you get. His army is massive, but that's his only army. And I would say that Bunny's on a timer. He needs to push, he needs to go now. The longer he waits, the more opportunities SHIN has to just pick away at his army. Pick up Marines, pick up tanks, and remax. Take down a hatchery. Again, the summary is pretty insane. They do catch out some Marines. Hive is done. Ultra Cavern on the way for SHIN. He's expanding towards the north. Taking more bases. Bunny gaining more ground. Still supply blocked, by the way. Still is supply blocked. Has another Ling run by. Does catch reinforcements. Boys, they're being evacuated, and Bunny, he turns back around. This will expose his tanks. Turns back around with his Marines. And SHIN, he can dive on this. Yes, Vipers. Speaking of, he had Vipers. Gets one Blinding Cloud. Ay, ay, ay. Good pick up by Bunny. A rough loss for SHIN. Has to rebuild his Vipers. If it wasn't for that snipe, I'll be honest, I think we can Blinding Cloud all the tanks and SHIN would have collapsed on this. 100%. As he just goes for non-stop run-bys. Bunny is here, he's backing over, but he's getting surrounded, and his army is so heavily overstimmed. Bunny getting cleaned up. It looks like he will catch that base on the bottom right. Hatchery is going to be going down. SHIN trying to preserve those drones. Likewise, linear third base is going to go down as well. Bunny killing 2 hatcheries. Pretty good. Good pickoffs here from Bunny. But SHIN, he's been buying time the entire time. He has 5 ultras on the way. The ultras have arrived. And again, Bunny has still been all in this entire time. 35 SVs. He hasn't made a worker in minutes. Hasn't made a single SCV in a very long time. This is still all he has. He's up to 160 army supply. His army just gets bigger and bigger. Oh my god. As long as we can avoid the Blinding Clouds, I think we're okay. I think Bunny can pull this off. Here come the Vipers. And here come the Blinding Clouds. Yeah, we cover the tanks. We collapse on this position. Tanks are going down. We have 2 more behind this, but more Blinding Clouds. And SHIN, it looks like he will break through. He cleans up the army. Shuts down the tanks. The Ultras, they lead the charge. And GG gets called. SHIN will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. We are going to the ace match. Again, Bunny just pulled apart left and right. The non-stop bailing and Ling run-bys did cripple his economy, and at a certain point, Bunny knew that he was too far behind. He was like, screw it, we're going all in. It's all or nothing at this point. And he just refused to make a single worker from that moment forward. It's nothing but army. And was finding some success, that is true, but as we saw, it just took a little bit too long to get across the map. By the time he did, by the time he was pushing in, we saw SHIN barely squeezing out those ultras. And with them, he was able to completely shut down the ground army. It felt like we needed a little bit more urgency out of Bunny to just commit to the all-in and just send it across the map and take a few more chances. It's risky, yes, but I mean, we were already all in. Regardless, here we go. We're in the ace match, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkyone, we have our South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. It is SHIN. Adding up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Terran player representing Mystery Gaming as well as they are teammates. It is Bunny. We go. Here we go. SHIN is going to be going for a hatch first. Bunny, last game, if you remember, did go for something more unorthodox, went for a Rax expand with a CC on the high ground, and did fake out a one base all in essentially. Did fake it out, but this time should be going for something more standard. We're loading into Alkyone, a much larger map in the map pool, a lot of base to be taken, and a lot more of a macro-centric map. So we could be in for another long one. Could be in for another split map scenario. I'm all for it. I'm here for it, man. So that's CC on the low grounds. Worker Scout moving out across the map. Is moving out just to confirm the opener, and SHIN has not gone for a 15-15 this entire series. Just straight up Hatchcast Pool standard openers. I appreciate it. Do appreciate it. To get into this, and yeah, outside of this, we do have our follow-up. Now, every game this series, Bunny has been going for 1-1-1s, which has been interesting. It's, again, very stylistic of Bunny and not really seen too often by any of the other Korean Terrans to delay your third for as long as Bunny has. And we've been seeing some mixed results. We saw in Game 1 his Hellions were able to deal some more damage. In Game 2, his Banshees were okay, but here we go. For the first time this series, that is a third CC before Starport. Let's go. Going for a very economic opener here from Bunny. For the first time. And again, a big reason for this is the map. We've seen a lot of late game here on Alkione, and we're getting ready for it. There's also, of course, the goal base that could come into play, but really the goal is simply taken as a fifth. It's a fifth hatchery, sometimes a fourth, but we're usually not that spicy. Usually. This Bunny is going to be forced back. Did get eyes on the third base timing, but not much else than that. And we are just settling into this. Interesting. No add-on swap. We do have a tech lab on the way, but it's going to be a Viking first here from Bunny. Viking first is going to be denying these overlords. And from here, we will most likely go into a Liberator. We're not really often seeing Banshee production from this point. Could even technically be BC, but... oh, we are going for an add-on swap. Okay. I like this. Viking into add-on swap into Banshee. So the reason why this is going to be a little bit off-putting, or it should ideally catch SHIN off guard. Typically, if you're going for a Banshee opener, you would go for an add-on swap initially, and you would not waste time on a Viking. Just to be efficient, right? Just to get your Banshee out as quickly as possible, to get economic damage as quickly as possible. The fact that we're opening up Viking does kind of lead us down a different route, into Liberators, or just straight into bio play, into a stim timing. So SHIN shouldn't be getting his spores. And as we see, no spores here in the mineral lines. We can see the spores on the edge. This is for Liberators. These are in position to defend against Liberators. So more of an opportunity for these Banshees to get damage done. Also, we're not investing into Cloak. So vanilla Banshees here from Bunny. And SHIN happens to be going Roaches, which again is ideal. Which is ideal for Bunny, as Banshees are ideal against Roaches. So we are going for a 9 Roach push. We're going to be joining up behind this. This is going to be some light aggression from SHIN. Not committed. With links, they do get in. Oh, Bunny out of position. A lot lost mine time. SCVs are going down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the Banshee does reveal itself defensively. Not like this. Banshee has been revealed. We got 4 SCV kills. We can finally go back to mining in the natural. Roaches are still moving out. A bit of a missed rally. Oh, a couple of drones. They wanted to be Roaches. Not like this. So to have a bit of a missed rally. But Roaches are coming in. I believe the Banshee is still back at home. Oh, no. Banshee is moving out across the map. Roaches have arrived. Ooh, without the Banshee, this is going to be a tougher defense here for Bunny. Yeah, we can see the Viking and the Banshee racing back home. Roaches are going to be going down. They do pick off some of the Hellions. But we get a full surround. And we do clean this up. Not a bad response here from Bunny. Again, he hasn't lost too much. He just lost mining time. Quite a lot of it. But he deals with the Roaches. That was a big investment for SHIN and didn't really pay off. Behind this, he's transitioning into Ling Bane. It's going to be delayed 1-1, delayed banelings as well. We delayed all of this tech in favor of the Roach Horn, and it wasn't worth it for Shin. So Bunny, not in a bad position. In a pretty good position, I would say. As the Roaches did fall in their face. Oh, we're rushing into a Hydra Den. And she's slipping into the main. Unable to find too much damage though. Wings on Black Wedge going for another counter attack. We don't quite get the tank. This time Bunny is in position. Does zone away the Lings. Now it's going to be on Bunny to maintain himself here as he's working towards a 4CC, getting into Bio Mine, very similar to what we saw in Oceanborn. And I'll be honest, I imagine a very similar game here to Oceanborn, where Bunny's going to try to go for mass drop play, eventually transition into Ghost production, into Widow Mines, into Liberators. Does come across a hatchery, does force a cancel. Does deny the 5th. At the same time, Viking catches an Overlord in the center of the map. We do have a double drop on the right-hand side. Double drop threading that natural, keeping Shin busy. And do we have anything to defend here? This 4th base. We do have Queens. As we ignore the 4th, we go into the main base. Bunny bleeding out some Marines. Hydras are in position. And Bunny doesn't find any damage. Does get cornered, does get stuck. In between Hydras and Queens. But thankfully, Bunny hasn't lost too much yet. Drops are stuck, that is true, but he can always try to break them free later. As we actually reinforce towards the left. No creep whatsoever here. Bunny can take a fight. Shinny does notice. There we go, Bunny dives on the hatchery. Will force a cancel once again. Denying the 5th for a second time. Shin trying to bait out that mine. Will do so. Looking forced to pick up. So we head into the natural, just back and forth here. Bunny being so annoying. Does get a queen. Oh my god. Big baiting to the face. Wouldn't mind denying that hatchery. Taking a 4th behind this. Bunny taking an economic lead. Again, Shin, he is maxed out. That is true. He's going Ling Bane Hydro. We do have the Hive on the way. Lurker Den as well. Or eventually Viper play and Lurker play. Shin is still busy. Forsake the goal base, but Bunny gonna deny this hatchery as well. He's gonna try. Up. Ooh, he takes big failings to the face. That was not worth it. Bunny trying to focus on that hatchery, does not deny it. Bunny throws away supply. Scans, sees the Hydras, still stuck with his double drop. Bunny's gonna be taking his own gold, and even though Shin has had a really hard time taking a 5th, now he has his 5th base and it is a gold. So Shin, he's catching back up, making up for his delayed economy, and both players are maxed out, which is what we expected to be getting into here on Alkione. We're maxed out, we have a split map, creep at the halfway mark, and Ghost production has commenced. We're getting into Ghost Lib from Bunny, we're getting into Hydra Lurker Viper for Shin. As we have 5 Lurkers on the way. No Nidus Worm yet, and no Vipers yet either, as the Hive is still a couple seconds away up from finishing. So Shin is still not at his final form. We're still working on it. And these lurkers aren't as potent as they otherwise usually are, as they don't have any upgrades. No range or adaptive talons. Likewise, drop does come in. Not going to find too much success. We do trade okay against the Bailings, but we get cleaned up. Scan does reel a base. And Bunny on the way to deal with it. So the name of the game here is Bunny is going for drop play. That is true. We do have some Ling Bane to defend that northern base. But he can't really commit to a push until he refines his army. Basically what we're waiting for is an abundance of Ghosts and Liberators. Without them, Bunny can't really move out. Not with his whole army. And there it is, second starport is on the way. We have the Fusion Core for Liberator range. Making 3 Ghosts at a time. Bunny is getting towards that ideal army composition that we saw in Game 1. Ooh, big mine shots. Meanwhile, Shin this time is just going for a much faster transition. That's a very quick Spire compared to what we saw previously. Nidus on the way. Ghost gonna be able to shut it down. Shin is denied. Nidus does finish. One lurker does come out. But gets sniped instantly. Good cleanup by Bunny. It's a good cleanup. Scan into the main. Reveals the hive. Reveals the greater Spire. Now we don't want to go into Vikings too soon. Because we have the tech, that doesn't mean we're making Corruptors now. Especially considering the lack of upgrades. But Bunny at least knows. There we go. Turrets being thrown down. We're fully walling off, we're turtling up. We're just completely turtling up here. In our corner of the map. Lurkers come in, Lings. They threaten to dive. Good mine shot there on the Lings. At the same time, Bunny trying to force his way up the ramp. There are no lurkers. Bunny, he will kill this gold. Likewise, he will lose control here of this northern base. Decent fungal on the Marauders. But it's Marauders. Yeah, we can tank the Banelings. Marines going down. Hatchery getting very low. We do get a decent fungal off on some Ghosts. Yeah, well, there's no saving the hatchery. It does go down. Likewise, Bunny also lost his CC to the lurkers. So trading a base for a base. Now, once again, yes, Shin does have a bank, but he needs a bank. Because Bunny's army is more efficient. Bunny, he will be just trading better than his opponent. And Shin just has to be careful to make sure he maintains his economic lead. If it slips away, then Bunny will run away with it. Will run away with the game. Broodlord's on the way. I'm not sure if I'm convinced about this. Broodlords are good, but these are 0-0 Broodlords. They're very early. Nice to turn down. Broodlord's pushing in. Decent yoinks here on those libs. The Corruptors, they go ham. The Ghost will survive, and looks like the nuke is going to be zoning this back. We do get some snipes. We had 4 Broodlords, we're down to 3. Got 4. Goes off, not quite connecting. Looks like we sniped. There it is. 3 Broodlords were sniped. We got 6. Got a lurker. To pick up a lurker as Shin pushing forward with more of his Broodlords. Snipes are in favor. Big bailing connections. Oh my god. The ghosts. The ghosts get caught out. Big overextension there by Bunny. As he loses 12 ghosts. And with that, we do see SHIN. He is holding. Forcing back the ground army. But liberation zones, they're not stopping. They're still trading well. Nuke going to be connecting here with the spores. I also can't believe this hatchery is still alive. It survived all of this somehow. It's crazy. SHIN taking top left. Does coming from behind. Does go for a flank. Gets a lib. Gets two. Two liberators. Does pull back. Third liberator does go down. You can see SHIN just picking this army apart. And still taking another base. Still has the gold. Which I'm a bit shocked by. Here we go. Behind this, we were getting back into Viking production. We have a couple of Thors as well, which will help. Focusing on our anti-air. Bonnie backing off here. Bailing run by does draw away his attention. As it looks like Bunny, he is coming back. I was about to say, like, from here, do we back off? Do we rotate and try to deny these northern bases instead? Is that our plan? Yeah, the answer is no. We're still pushing in on the right. Bunny has rebuilt his ghosts. God, how many Vikings does he have? 10. Vikings here for Bunny. As many Vikings as there are Corruptors. Broodlords are slowly poking and picking up whatever they can. They get a couple Marauders. Liberation zone's going ham. This fight could still go either way. I can see a world where Bunny EMPs all these infestors and then he can break through. And he can break through. New connects with spores. They are reburrowing. Moving back in. Nice to take down a brood. Oh, another broodlord full Thor. SHIN has to be very careful with his movement. Speaking of big fungal here on the ghost, the chain fungal. He's going for it. Gets a third fungal as well. A fourth fungal. And the ghost, they barely escape. Oh my god. Everyone going for the dive. Bailey's are rolling on in. The ghosts are still very battered, very bruised. Decent bailing connections there. Bunny being forced back. The Liberator's being cleaned up as well. And SHIN, he has done it. He's broken this position. Again, catching at those ghosts. That was the moment he was looking for. And he is shutting everything else down in the sky. One Liberator remains. Broodlord's pushing in. And we're down to our final mining base. Cheeky nuke. It's not gonna finish. But he does have center right. But again, with the death of this base, SHIN should be able to get it. Assuming SHIN can break this planetary. Oh! As Bailey's rolling, they take down that center right base. It's nice. snipes on the brutes. CC barely does survive. Again, the economy of Bunny is still struggling. On SHIN, he's going for it. Oh, the fungal! He's going for the fungal, and he will land! Once again, the chain fungals here on all the ghosts. Ah! They cannot escape. They all go down. A massive pickoff once again. Twice in the same game. Just catching the ghosts off guard. Catching them clumped up. And SHIN is running away with it. This entire time he's been mining from top left as well. We do have a Liberator harassing, at least. Need a couple of drone kills. But again, for the most part, SHIN, he is in control. He's in the driver's seat. Maxing out once again. How many infestors? Four infestors, 6 broodlords, more corruptors on the way. Range drop is coming from Bunny, but this is, I feel like, too little too late. We needed this earlier. SHIN is responding. And very similar to the last game, we have entered a kind of a phase here where Bunny is pretty all in. I say that just because of his economy. Like, he's down to 1 base. Down to 1 base economy here. He cannot sustain himself. Any more losses and he will be done. He has to be very careful with how he maneuvers and how he engages. Not impossible. We can't afford another fungal. We can't afford another fungal here as we snipe some of those lurkers. SHIN, he wants to dive in. You can feel it. He knows. He knows he's so close. Infestors, they have arrived. Can we land a fungal? Scan reveals the army. Gonna be rotating over and pushing up the ramp, avoiding those tanks. Fungal does connect with some of those ghosts. Not the best connection. Good EMPs. Again, Bunny, he's running out of steam here. Running out of units. He's got a handful of ghosts remaining. He will hold. Oh my god. He does kill top left. Does hold on. 12 drones have gone down. Can Bunny turn this around? I mean, SHIN can remax. Bunny cannot. This ghosts are still alive. 4 more brutes on the way. Yeah, it's still really close. SHIN is also running out of resources as well. I didn't realize that. I mean, we've mined out of the gold. We're mining out of top left. No more gases here top left either. Haven't saturated Sensorite from the side of SHIN. Uh-oh. Bunny can still take it. SHIN, he has gas, he has no minerals. Uh-oh. Is there a world? Can Bunny bring this back? We need a good fight. We need some good snipes. SHIN just trying to keep his opponent busy. Drones, they've been dying as they try to long distance mine. have been falling. I do like this reposition here from Shin. He's going for the CC. Going for the planetary. Ooh, and this is huge. The base is brought down. We deny mining here at the same time. Top left has been scouted. Just trying to get an eye on saturation. And this was it. This was the last mining base. Like, Bunny, he has no more economy. Just now taking another CC to saturate. Bunny comes in, kills top left. Shin is mining from center right though, soon. So technically an economy for Shin. Now, what's scary here is that Shin was barely able to mine from this hatchery here, which means that Bunny could take this for his own. And if he does, mate, Bunny can max out. Thousand gas still in this gas geyser. And Liberator trading well against the Hydras. The Hydras they can't reach. No. The Hydras they can barely reach. No, no, no. Not the best trade from Shin. First they come in, they snipe more Hydras. Very nicely done. Behind this, yep, another orbital's on the way. Bunny, he does want to expand. And now the onus is on Shin to make sure that Bunny cannot expand. Oh, here we go. Shin pushing forward. How many infestors? We have 6. 6 infestors. 2 move in. Bunny in position with his ghost. He's getting some damage done. EMPs do miss. They graze a couple of units. So have 2 Vipers in the back line. Snipes going off here on the Broods. Big snipes. Broodlords are getting picked up. A very efficient trade here from Bunny. Bunny, his supply barely moves. Shin is falling. Remaxing on more Lings. Good EMP once again on the infestors. Oh my god. Bunny! Catch some infestors. There's still fungals though in the chamber. And Shin, he is gonna commit. Force his way up the ramp. Oof. But that was not a good trade. Does pull back, does regret his choice. And Bunny, he's closing the supply, he's closing the distance. Liberation has arrived. Big fungal. Big fungal on the bio. Bailings are rolling in. We're trying to collapse here on the ghost. The Bailings, they chase the ghost down. But Shin, can he collapse on them? He cannot. Gets half of them. Does let another fungal, but Shin, he's running out of steam, he's running out of supply. The ghosts live. They live, they snipe the Hydras. Oh my god. The ghosts, they barely survive. GG gets caught. Shin had nothing left, that was it. And Bunny, he does come back, he does take the series at 2-1. GG, no shot. GG, Bobby. Congratulations, Bunny does take it 2-1 there. He was in a really rough place. If you remember, Bunny, he was being denied mining, denied bases, but he had a more efficient army. And Shin took some very rough fights towards the end. You saw Shin bleed out all of his Broodlords. So all the Broodlords died. He had like 2 Broodlords in that final fight. We saw Shin commit into Liberators, then pull back as well. We saw him get EMP'd. There were like 3 things in the lead up to that final fight that were going Bunny's way, and Shin was hurting towards the end there. And at the end, he just pulled the trigger. He said, "Screw it, I'm just going for it. Like I can't handle this, not anymore." Pulled the trigger, and yeah, that's all he had. That's all he had left. Bled out his entire army. GG. Bunny takes it. Oh. Ah. Bunny does take it in the end. It was a wild back and forth, but again, Bunny with a more efficient army, despite having some, not the most mining, at least he was able to deny top left. Remember, he was just constantly denying the top left base. Shin, his economy wasn't, or his bank wasn't as large as it otherwise could have been. Some really rough trades towards the end. Congratulations. Bunny will take it, and with that, we have reached the halfway mark. Oh boy. It's been some long series, Papi, some long series. We have reached the halfway mark here. We have a couple of TvTs coming up. We have Oliveira versus Bunny and Cure versus Bunny as well. We have 2 TvTs back to back. At the end of the night, we have Shin versus Stat. So we do have a ZVP to end it all, but a couple of TvTs to keep us busy. So 3 more series are remaining, and we are going to be going on a short break. It's going to be a short break here, especially after 2 series that went to the ace match and some very long games where if we need a break. Take this moment to get some water, to get some snacks, to recover yourself, and when we return, we will have that Terran on Terran action. Oliveira versus Bunny and Cure versus Bunny. See you then.